Welcome back to Goldwynn Dinner Club. I'm Grif.
I'm Parker. That kind of sounds like Ernest's fancy voice, you know, when he's like, I'm fancy Ernest. Ooh-hoo.
Would you like to play some Zelda with me?
Ew.
Sir?
A little Zelda.
Ew.
Ew.
Zelda?
The Legend of Zelda, you say?
Oh, the Legend of Zelda.
How very fancy. No, I don't care for that. It's too spooky.
So what dungeon is this?
This is called, I believe it's just called Palace of Darkness.
The Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, we don't need to be here yet, but check out a cool trick. This is why you want magic powder. Fairy.
Whoa.
It turned into a fairy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really useful. Oh.
Do you know your way around this maze?
For the most part, yeah. I might get turned around, but I know what I'm doing.
Because I would spend probably a whole day just getting lost in this place.
You know what? Here's the thing about classic 2D Zelda. It's actually, if you understand the conventions, it's incredibly intuitive. If you don't understand the conventions, I could totally, like, I don't want to be like, oh, you're wrong. Like, no, I get it. I could see how you totally get lost. But once you've played one, you get it.
I played all of them.
Okay.
And I still get lost.
I love that
lost.
you have to make this guy walk into the arrow. That's one of my favorite little things. It's just cute.
I used to actually always kill the guy with a sword.
Okay. Well, you could do that too.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I can see why you do that.
Did you know that was the safe place to do that?
Do what?
The charge.
Dude, I'm running on pure instinct as a hero.
You memorize this.
No, and here's the thing about my brain. I think we mentioned this before. I play again. Like, I definitely have a lot of like, things are over here, they're over there. But I physically cannot memorize stuff, which is why I love to replay games that I like a lot.
That's not true. You memorize every single line of dialogue from a TV show.
That's different. When it comes to video games, you'll see it happen. It happened to me earlier in this game where I forgot that I got the ice rod already. I get really turned around and I have like this, I don't know if it's a memory problem or what, but I'll forget stuff that people will tell me something about a game. Oh, also, mirror takes you back to the beginning. So I know I'm not saying I don't know anything about this temple. Of course I do, but do I have it memorized? No, dude, I'll get turned around, especially when we get to like the ice temple or something. Like, I will get turned around, but for the most part, my intuition is carrying me through. Oh, wait.
Is there any game that you have memorized?
I will say that the closest I've come is something like Link's Awakening. That one, A Link to the Past, is probably my favorite, but A Link's Awakening is so short that you can memorize it.
See, I have the entirety of Mario 64 memorized. I knew the map in Mario 64 better than I knew my hometown.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've played Link's Awakening a million times, but there is some stuff that I'll be like, I'll just do it wrong because it's not memory, it's muscle memory. Does that make sense? It isn't memory, yeah. So I'll keep doing the wrong thing every playthrough. Remember I was talking about that on this? I was like, oh, I always pay for bombs and then I go get some free ones and I hate it. But this time I was like, wait, no, because I used my brain. That's what happens to me. That's what I say when I'm like, that's what I mean by, no, I don't have them memorized. It's like I just have intuition and kind of muscle memory to work from. I think there's something down
Well, in
there.
the parts where I come from, we're told not to use our brain.
And
it can be very damaging.
In Jersey.
In Jersey,
I buy that.
Like our ham and cheese to be tailored, and we like.
I'm happy that I actually understand that reference. I'm not from the East Coast, but I know what Taylor ham is. I know a pork roll.
Oh, it's so good.
I know
it's
you and creator of Megas Jody and of course Titmouse founder Chris Panoski. You guys are all like, East Coast heroes. So all my knowledge of the East Coast comes from y'all. And so yeah, it's like I know that. I know what you're talking about. I have not had it.
Thanks for putting me in the same league as those guys.
Yeah, of course.
And
you are.
And Taylor ham and cheese is unbelievable. I mean, if you can get your
now here's the
hands
thing.
on a legit
Can you describe
bagel,
Can you describe what it is precisely for everyone?
It's like a fried slice of ham.
A little bit like. Is it like Spam at all?
It's a lot like Spam.
Okay, so it's a little like Scrapple, a little like Spam. I get a good processed salted meat.
Spam has. I don't know what the reputation of Spam is, but I can say that I love Spam.
It's actually it's a joke because of Monty Python, but its reputation is very high, especially in like Hawaii and
it's really
the
good.
Philippines.
It's
like yeah.
When you see someone crack open a can of that, you're like, what am I, like a cat? Were you feeding me cat food? But then they cook it up and they feed it to you, and you're like, oh, this is insanely good. You can get really good meat in a can, like a cat.
And if I'm not mistaken, Spam stands for spiced ham.
Oh, really?
People have come up with all sorts of insane theories of what it's supposed to stand for. Stands for.
I thought it was like, because like we have like pleather. I thought it was something like that.
Yeah, where it's not like real ham. No, it stands for spiced ham.
Polyurethane.
That's it. That's all. Not.
What would the polyethane version of the S be?
I think the polyurethane version of or whatever. A polyester. The polyester of ham is bologna. Blech. Blech.
I was gonna say what the S could stand for. Like
juked him. I juked him. Oh, I need another key. Darn.
Special.
Drat.
It's SP actually. So
special ham.
Sporty,
almighty meat.
Spectacular. Well, anyway, I just wanted to take a moment to
talk about Taylor ham.
Advertise our sponsor for today's episode, Spam. I'm just kidding; they're not our sponsor, but I'd totally.
And I want to take a moment
let them give us.
I want everyone to thank me for showing restraint and not remotely quoting the Monty Python bit and just not doing it. I've grown. I won't do that. I will not.
What's the Monty Python bit?
I'm not going to do it because I've grown.
Why?
Because I've grown. Because I'm different now,
okay.
and you have no idea how hard it is for me to resist quoting the entire sketch because I'm just that sad of a nerd. Like, I know it.
You know,
I'm not proud of it, guys. I know what I am.
I came here for an argument.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You came here for an argument. Still good.
That's one of the just like funniest ideas that anyone has ever had.
It's vaudevillian. I would say there is a sketch I do want to recommend. It's a little risque, so you'll have to forgive it. Oh, please don't kick us out again. No, at least we're coming up on the end of an episode, I think. But please don't kick us out.
We got we got kicked out. Well, let's keep talking because we got like two more minutes.
I'm going to create a new suspend point, but I'm still online. I think I'll double check.
So you were talking about.
It's a really good sketch. You can kind of find it on. I think it's called like a conversation with Eric Idle and John Cleese. And there's a bit where he's reading from his book a sketch that he wrote for the 1948 show, which is like, it wasn't in 1948 obviously, but it was a sketch show, and it's called. I forget what it's called, but it's a word association is the sketch. And it's John Cleese and Eric Idle doing a reading of this old sketch, which I can't remember if it was Marty Feldman in it originally, but like it's very vaudevillian and it's just insane. And the guy's his memory technique is associating everything with a hole in a wall through which he can see nude women. That's it. And the guy's like, he's like, how do you remember Fire of London? He's like, Fire of London. Samuel Pepys famously had a diary, wrote about the Fire of London. Samuel Pepys peeps through the hole in the wall through which he sees 3 nude women. Sex, 1666. Easy. That's like, it's that for a good 5 minutes. He just won't stop. And the guy's like, a nude woman every time? Every time. Why? It's just such a striking image. And that's it. It's just this really stupid bit, but it kills me. And to see these 2 old men who are just so tickled, I don't know. It's very wholesome watching them laugh about the dumbest idea possible. Look it up if you're so inclined.
Yeah, they have.
Okay, so we're in the same room.
Last
You guys
I checked, they had all that show on Netflix, right?
Monty Python itself. So this was in an interview on YouTube. So you'll have to. This sketch isn't a Monty Python sketch technically, but yeah, if you can watch Flying Circus, I would say there are people I've met and talked with and worked with who are like, well, I don't like it, and they expect me to get upset, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, it's weird. It's a weird show, and it's from the '60s, and it's very English. If you don't like it, like
comedy is super subjective.
Yeah, they expect me to get upset, and I'm like, no, dude. Like it's if you don't like it, it's 2021. Like that's fine.
You cannot make someone think something's funny.
No,
like it just is,
and that makes it worse. I keep thinking of this bit, and it's when like Kramer had to apologize for his insane racist tirade, and he went on David Letterman to apologize for it, and he was just really awkward, and the audience kept laughing at him, and Seinfeld looks at the camera and he goes, "Don't laugh, it isn't funny." And I remember being livid in that moment, and I'm like, no, you don't get to tell me that this awkward, creepy moment that you engineered isn't cringeworthy and funny. It is funny, as a matter of fact, because it's so wildly insane that this is happening on David Letterman where it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it is funny.
That's not like the audience either to do that with, you know?
No, it's so odd.
Well, anyway, that's been another episode of Goldwynn Dinner Club.
Thank you for joining us.
Zitsua.